you really get this, it will help you attract a lot of money, a lot of success, maximize your potential, and create the life that you really, really want. It has done incredible favors for me. And this information is not so evident in the world. It's not like this is the first thing you'll stumble on. That's why sometimes it takes a lot of trial and error to really nail this. And I want to hand it to you today. But what is that key difference between people who are born into money and people who are not? What is that key difference? When I didn't really understand this, I used to think that people who are born into wealth have already a lot of money, so it's very easy for them to start and make things happen because they have got the resources, they have got the connection. They must have got connections from their parents, they must have got their own connections, they must have grown into the families where there is a lot of money already, so they can invest, they have money to throw around. While others who don't have this are always struggling because they have to reinvent themselves, they have to start, they have to be self-made. And I was told from a very young age that if you're not born into money, it's very hard to attract the success. Therefore, you have to almost like accept that this is your fate, right? And for a very, very long time, I accepted it. But then sometimes it makes me question that why do we want to have success? What is that thing that drives us? Why is it that we have this feeling that life has got more to it and I want to go for it, and I want to live the fullest expression? And the thing I realize is that it's not about the fact that we are greedy, or it's not about the fact that, oh, I want more money and I'm ambitious, because I used to really judge myself because I felt that a lot of people judged me for wanting more and really discovering what is that thing that makes people tick, right? And because of that, I judged myself. But what I really understood was that because we have so many incredible gifts that we were given by birth, right? We have also been given the desire to express those gifts. We have been given the desire to ascend, to rise, to go after what we really want, to exceed the limits, to really discover ourselves. And that is a very normal part of being a human. In fact, if you meet somebody who doesn't have that desire, that means they have picked up the belief along the way which are not inherent to their true nature. Having this kind of attitude that I want to discover more, I want to reinvent myself, I want to have a better, bigger, fuller life, I want to use my gifts, that is very, very human. That is our essence, that is the core of who we really are. You shouldn't be feeling ashamed for it. Coming back to the point that what is the key difference between people who are born into wealth and who are not, is that the people who are born into wealth, they see themselves slightly differently. They see themselves as somebody who is valuable and worthy. They see themselves as somebody that I am worthy of this. I am worthy of more. And for them, inherent value or being worthy is not a question. It's not something they have to debate inside. It's not something that they are self-sabotaging because they have seen their fathers, their forefathers, their forefathers doing the things and achieving results and making success normal. A lot of times what happens is that when we feel like we can achieve success, people who are not born into money, and I'm including myself in that because I wasn't, we start to fear the success. We start to fear that if I become successful, something wrong is going to happen, or I might lose something, or people might judge me. Hi, Demarcus, so lovely to see you. Or I might lose because I shouldn't be having it, or it may never happen at first place. That is the biggest concern, that what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I can't do this? What if I'm not good enough, right? But the key to understand is that the question of us being good enough or not being good enough, that's not even a question, because we are good enough. We were born good enough, right? If there is a skill that we don't know and we feel like we should learn, we can learn. If there is something we don't understand, we need to figure out, we can figure out. If there is a thing that we need to ask somebody or we need to do a bit of research to figure out, we can. There is nothing that we can't. The only thing is that we think that it may happen that we might fail. It may happen that it may not work for us. And that is coming from inherent worthiness, that I'm not worthy of this. I shouldn't have this. If I do this, I'm feeling guilty for asking more. I'm feeling guilty for wanting to have more. And when it comes to people or born into wealth, that's not a question. They know that they're worthy of it. They just go for it. They just go for it with inherent confidence and worthiness that I'm worth it. I'm going for it. I know it's going to work out. I might have to figure out a few things along the way. I might have to find a few answers, but it's going to work anyway because it has to work. They're not dabbling on the question of worthiness. That's why for them, it's easier to just get on with it. And it's easier to just do it because they have seen that their parents did it and their parents did it, and it always worked out for everybody. The other thing, what I see is the inherent difference. I have studied this a lot, like obsessed, right? And I really want to get this. I'm sharing this with you, that I study a lot of brands. I study a lot of brands which are quite expensive. So when I say quite expensive, I have really helped myself to expand my wealth consciousness, right? To work on it. And I'm starting from a place where I was in a school which was one room school, right? We couldn't afford to wear warm clothes in winters and we had to ask other people, right? I'm coming from that consciousness to expand myself and constantly expand one day at a time. I had always this curiosity that how come there are some brands in this world who can charge $10,000 for a jacket while others are charging $20 for a jacket? What is that thing? What is that thing that some people are happy to spend $20,000 while some people are nervous to spend even $2? What is this mindset shift? For me, it was so hard to understand and get my head around because especially in Europe and in the West and I'm sure in America, because I don't come from, my origin is not from those countries. I see that you can buy a jacket for $10,000, for $20,000, and you can buy a jacket for $20, right? You can buy a jacket for $10. You can buy something really cheap and you can buy the same thing very, very expensive. So my question was, how does it make sense? Because how come there are some people who can buy such expensive things and some people who are nervous to spend $20, right? And what usually happens, I'm not generalizing, but in developing countries, in the country where I come from, the price variation is not that high because a lot of people are price sensitive because there is not a lot of wealth going around. For people like us, it's really hard to get our head around the fact that you can just go and spend $20,000 on a jacket. Wow, right? I had to really understand this for myself. I was really curious to make sense out of this whole thing. And after a lot of contemplation, studying, understanding, trainings, listening to people, what I understood was that there is a whole consciousness around wealth. And none of them is right. I'm not saying being nervous to spend $20 is wrong. I think it's really great because we have to respect our money. But there is a different wealth consciousness. And the difference in wealth consciousness is that people who are born into money, they feel that they're worthy of more. They just feel that they're worthy of that $20,000 jacket. They're not trying to justify that why should I buy that. They operate based on desire. I like it, I'll have it. I like it, I get to have it. Right? So they're not justifying that is it worth $20,000? How dare them charge $20,000? And I remember we were having this discussion with some of our clients and they were saying that one of them was saying that I used to make fun of the brands because I couldn't justify the value. And I could relate to that, right? That I was the same, that I couldn't justify the value. When it comes to people who are born into wealth, they operate on the basis of desire. I want this, I'm worthy of this, I get to have this. And the price is not a concern for them because they have this inherent knowing that I'm worthy. It doesn't matter what the price is. I'm worthy. I can attract that money. I can circulate that money. I can spend that money. I get to have that money. I get to spend that money. So the whole concept of worthiness. Now, when they take that concept of worthiness into earning, they also know that they can attract that money. They also know that the service they provide, whatever that is, and it doesn't require hard work. That is something we need to really assess. That it's not about the harder I work, the more I'm worthy. It's about, for them, it's about, because I'm worthy, the service I provide, I can charge more for it. Because I'm worthy and my service is worthy, because I see my inherent value, they're happy to pay more because they feel they're worthy to have the things that are worth more, and they're happy to charge more for their services because the service they provide is worth more. They are circulating money with the paradigm of worthiness, that I am worthy. I am worthy to circulate more. I am worthy to have the things that are worth more. And I am worthy to charge the money I want to charge for my services because I know their quality. I know I'm worthy to get that money. I know that I am of value. And when they operate from value, they're always going for excellence. If they feel that they need to learn a skill, they will go and learn that skill. If they feel they need to master something, they will master something. And as a third, as an extension of that mindset and belief system of worthiness, they also see other people's worth. If there is somebody who is doing better or who is charging something for their service or who is charging good, big price, when I say big, I mean relatively big, right? Because there is no such thing as big or small. It's all relative. And they're charging more price for their service. They also see the value of that. So they don't criticize or question that why this person is charging more, because they appreciate value. So they value themselves, they value the things which are worth more price, they value other people's services. So the whole thing is the game of value and worthiness. And they value themselves, they feel they're worthy, so they circulate money with this inherent knowing of worthiness. And there is no fear around money that's going to run out, because they know that they're worthy of money. They charge with confidence, they circulate with confidence, and they know they will attract. So they attract with confidence. And when we have this wealth consciousness, we can attract more no matter what the circumstances are. We can attract more no matter what the society is doing, what the market is doing, what the current situation is doing, because we have this inherent knowing and belief in ourselves. So this is the thing that I had to really develop for myself. I had to reprogram myself into, I had to really understand that am I valuing myself? Because if I'm valuing myself, I will also go and figure out things which I feel I don't know, because I feel that I'm valuable enough to work on my skills. I feel I'm valuable enough to find out things. I feel I'm valuable enough to invest in myself and figure things out for myself. It's like when we find that something is valuable, we take care of it. We put an effort, an investment to look after it. We put an effort to polish it, nurture it, and we find our value. We see that we are inherently valuable. We work on ourselves to increase our value all the time. We work on our skills. We work on ourselves. We work on becoming and reinventing the better version of ourselves, because we inherently know we are valuable. This whole game of valuable reflects how much money we attract in our life. If we are questioning everything before spending money, that means we don't believe we are worthy, right? We are constantly judging, am I valuable enough to get this? Am I valuable enough to have what I really want? And if you're questioning the value before charging and saying, I don't know if he's going to pay, I don't know if I can charge this price, I don't know if my work is that good, that means we are questioning our value, our worth to attract money. That means either we need to change our self-belief, or if we feel that we lack some skills, we go and learn it. Because if we value ourselves enough, we will go and do it. We will take the time and effort and care to develop those things. And then when it comes to seeing other people's values, value sees value. Value attract value, right? If we see our value, we'll see other people's value. But if we don't see our value, then what we'll see is we'll try to justify to ourselves why other people are not valuable. That's why we are not valuable. If we don't see our value, then we'll try to almost find this worthiness in other people, that this person sucks, that's why I'm good, right? And we don't want to do that. We want to value ourselves. We want to see other people's value. We want to attract and circulate money based on our value. And we just want to know that money is a tool and we are the most valuable thing in this whole universe, right? And when we operate from that belief system, we attract money in millions, because we are worthy. We are valuable. We believe in ourselves. We go for it. We work with this inherent knowing that it's always going to work, because we are worthy of it. And we have always been. And we are born worthy. Nothing has changed.